Okay, so welcome to No Nonsense Hip Hop. And today it's just a general topic about everything going on in hip hop media. Little Nas X, DMX, Ransom, and some other stuff that's going on that we're going to discuss. Uh, just wanted to get some stuff out there, get it out, see what you guys think about what we talk about. Leave your comments in the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like. If you don't like, hey, don't like it. Don't give a shit. Thank you for joining us, though.
Thank you.
Joined by Morgan, or I'm sorry. Yeah, Morgan, Allie, and Freshman. Everyone say hi to Twitchy Freshman.
Twitchy Fresh.
Okay,
Way to
guys.
just bring everybody on like the jokes.
Oh shit.
Instead of the elusive fresh, now it's twitchy fresh.
Yeah, you were elusive fresh, but now you're
He's
Twitchy
still
Fresh.
elusive. He's still
Yeah.
elusive. My buddy, my pal. I can't wait to drive out to see
where
him.
the twitchiness comes from.
Exactly. So I don't know. The whole first I want to say I've been really praying hard for DMX. I'm a person of faith and I believe in prayer and God, just like he does. So I've been really praying for him. He's one of my favorite artists. I mean, he's so much my favorite. People are going to be upset, but I took him over M in the versus battle because I knew DMX could squash him. And I won, didn't I, Fresh, in our mock DMX versus M battle.
Yeah, but I mean, your competition, I mean, he half blew that him damn self.
I picked the right
you came up
songs.
with the great parameters and you did pick great songs. Yes, you're a big supporter of DMX and you put a lot of effort into it. And I spent a lot of time discussing and debating with you. And
Right.
you end up winning that competition. But you know as well as I did that Holly did not pick the best damn Eminem songs to compete.
No. And I also knew certain songs I would lose, like Stan. It's a great storytelling song. People are
Right,
gonna
but we
pick
had that.
Stan.
Yeah, we
So
had that
I knew
strategy,
what
Doc.
songs to put against it because I knew I'm gonna lose this one, but I know where I'll win. And I knew DMX got some massive anthems out there that everybody still bumps. And hey, he's one of the greats.
Yeah, no, you put together a strategy and got the victory in that format.
Yeah, and I'm just disgusted in the media because the first thing they said was he OD'd and had a heart attack, and that is false information. I found out that there was no OD involved. It was just a heart attack. He's in bad health because of his drug past. But the media
weakens your heart muscles.
Yeah, and the media is just running with it. New York Post, their article about these are the houses that DMX lost during his career. Like that's important right now. He's fighting for his life, and they want to post about properties he's lost over his time of living. Like the fuck.
I mean, there's always trash media when anything like this is happening with a famous person. There's always let's try and get clicks, let's try and drag up the bullshit.
Exactly.
And we know, and it's horribly disrespectful. But this has been I think a hard week for everyone who loves hip hop because you can't deny DMX. I mean, when he was really big, you look at like in the late 90s and stuff, I wasn't listening exclusively to hip hop at that time, but you couldn't get away from it.
Exactly.
It was so big, it was so there, and some of those songs are just so iconic.
Right, Rough Riders anthem.
You hear it and everyone just knows straight away who it is, what
voice.
the song is.
Right,
yeah,
just his voice alone.
The famous dog bark and growl.
Well, his voice, and then when going back to that competition me and Maria was doing, the openings to his songs, some of the openings, the beats, and the way he comes on the track is just, it's top tier.
Right.
Powerful. Like it really hits you when you hear it.
It just gets you hyped. I mean, that was my robbery music when I was doing stupid shit. That was my that was his music was my anthem to a lot of crap in my life that I did.
Yes, a
Bad
lot.
or
Yes,
good.
a lot.
You know what I mean? I got a promotion. I bumped, DMX. I was out doing crafty, nifty things. I was bumping DMX. I remember coming through the border doing something I wasn't supposed to, and I was wondering where the hood at. His music is just that hype type of music. And then even his other stuff, like his music about God and his struggles, like being an ex-drug addict, that it really hits me hard. Like because I know those struggles. I've been through it.
There's a lot more to him than I think a lot of people realize. If they only know, like those big anthems that everyone at every radio station, every party was playing them, as I said, it was so hard to get away from it, even if you weren't, sort of completely surrounded in hip hop. But there is so much more to him as an artist. And I think that, that's not really appreciated enough. And we don't see it. We don't see it talked about enough.
Right. Also, I don't think the media wants DMX sober. That's another thing. I was watching, the versus battle he had with Snoop. He was drinking Kool-Aid, no liquor. But then you fast forward to Drink Champs with fucking Nori, and Nori's there giving him alcohol, egging him on. And I'm just like sitting here thinking, X is sitting there talking about his struggles. And here's Nori like talking about the time X gave him this real expensive Hennessy that he had never drank it. It was like 1,000 something a glass. And he's there pouring it for X and handing it to him.
Better stories for the media, isn't it?
I really feel that they don't like X to succeed. They're always tearing him down. The media tears him down anytime they can. Anytime there's something that goes on with him, all the bad shit comes out before any good shit. Like they never mentioned the accolades. Like he was the first hip hop artist to have 2 multi-platinum albums in 1 year. He's got 5 albums that went multi-platinum, and every song on those albums are fucking bangers.
There for a while. I mean, he was the hottest thing they're running. I mean, like you said, he was churning it out.
There's a story that Hitman Holla said that he saw DMX in a rap battle against somebody, and DMX had his dog with him, this pit bull. And DMX had said some line, something about better watch it or something, my dog gonna bite you. And when he said that, the dog started growling and barking and moving towards the guy he was battling. And X told the dog, nah, ma, stop it. Let me get him. And the dog stopped. So Hitman was like, he had the dog in his rap battle. That's how vicious DMX is. And I was just laughing. I think it was coincidence that the dog did that, but I thought it was funny, So I just want to pray and just send positive wishes out to his family, because his family's pretty upset, asking for privacy and for the media to stop, with all the bullshit. They're not gonna. There's a lot of support out the hospital. Rough Riders and a bunch of people are out there just jamming to his music, sending good vibes. And I know today they're doing the test on his brain to see where it's at. And then they're going to make a decision on what they want to do after. So I'm praying that he's got some brain activity so that I'm being selfish. I don't want him to go. So, prayers for him.
Yeah, I think everyone is just, hoping and sending, what we can, like good wishes and everything. I think, what we can do is just, talk positive, and talk about how much, we love his music. I think it's just sad that, you know, suddenly, you know, an unfortunate thing happens, and now, you know, you look at Twitter, it's like, you know, lots of people talking about X and how much they love
everyone
it.
loves them now. Yeah.
But, you know, how many times have we all seen all these top 10 favorite lists and all this, and he's not in the conversation as much as, you know, actually maybe he should be, when you look at the accolades and you look at what he achieved.
He's in mine. I've been batting for DMX for a long time, Fresh. Long time. Long time.
Yeah, he's definitely been in yours. But the thing
time.
with those top lists is, I mean, once you really start holding yourself to those numbers, I mean, it's like, yeah, you'd like to put certain people in, but I mean, then somebody has to come out. I mean, that's the tough thing about those lists all the time.
I'm okay.
No, and he's always been in yours. I'll give you that. You've always had him in yours, and I know that, and we've had the argument many times over. I'm saying like top 10, top 50. I mean, he is definitely a top artist. He definitely was impactful. I mean, I definitely liked him. I mean, he wasn't the same artist for me as he was for you, but I mean, I definitely liked him.
Right.
But yeah.
And I think it has to do with, I think for me, lyrics is what makes me really attached to certain artists, like Crook, his lyrics, what he talks about, I can relate.
Well, like you said at the beginning, Tupac. It's also what you're doing in your life at the time.
Right. And
I mean, DMX was a soundtrack to your life at a time when a lot of shit happened. So there's a lot of memories and a lot of attachment.
Right, a lot of nostalgia towards it.
Yeah, just like Earth, Wind, and Fire for me, Isley Brothers, and that battle was
different
amazing.
Music, different things.
Yeah, let's move on. Did anybody watch the Earth, Wind, and Fire versus? I don't think you guys did.
I didn't.
I did.
I'm always asleep. When these things go on. So, and then I put them on a list of things I need to watch later, which just gets longer and longer, and then I never end up watching any of it.
You did,
so I just,
didn't you?
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to try, but goddamn fucking Steve Harvey won't fucking shut up about how the fuck he knew these people. Like, my God, good golly, my man.
He's been
we
their
came
friend
here for
forever.
these artists, and then to finish it all off, I mean, 19 minutes of everything about all the history, and he's like, and these people need no introduction. Yeah, Steve, they need no introduction. We're all here to listen to them.
Yeah.
I mean, a minute, 2 minutes, fine. I mean, Steve literally drove me away, and I honestly, I don't even think I made it back.
I watched it.
I meant to.
I listened to the stories because I like that stuff. But yeah.
Well, I like the stories too, but
I don't know if you guys ever
some of what he gave was nice, but I mean, geez Louise, Steve.
Do you guys know who Spice Adams is?
I don't think so.
He was an ex-football player. You might know.
I was about to say he's a football player turned internet personality, and he does like alter egos and stuff.
Right. So he always does, after a versus battle, him and this other comedian, I can't remember his name, will do a mock of that versus. And they had Godfrey play Steve Harvey. That shit was hilarious. It's on YouTube. You guys should watch it. I could not stop laughing. Spice Adams played Ron Isley, and he decked himself out with a long coat and this fancy.
No, he goes all out.
Oh man, that shit was hilarious. But that battle, I love the music. I was just jamming out. I wasn't really watching. I was more listening.
Never got to it, Steve.
More listening. Yeah, I wasn't in the chat too much. I did a couple of things on there, but I was like, okay, I could do this and jam out. But yeah, he was talking a hell of a fucking lot. And at one point I was like, damn it, Steve, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Okay,
I'm always one, like, once I get to that point where like I'm actually verbally saying it, it's like, you know what, I actually gotta follow this up with action. So like I left. Like I said, I meant to come back. I was like, I'm gonna miss a couple rounds, but I gotta do this just out of sheer protest because, you know.
Right.
Stand your ground, Fresh, when you feel that way, you know, follow through with that.
Oh, he does, believe me. We're having a battle right now in another server. I'm trying to have them bring him back. He's standing his ground though. Apparently so are they. I might have to leave and protest, Fresh.
Stand in solidarity, Maria.
I kind of just got what you're talking about. I had a phone call hit there real quick, so I even missed the first little part of that.
Right.
Yeah, server, other stuff. No, yeah. I'll get more of a discussion at some point. I mean, that'll happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I was already having a bit of a discussion, but I don't know.
Anyway, so
Actually,
this
trying to make it happen. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm leaving if they don't bring you back. I know Spider watches. Come on, Spider. Anyways, this whole thing with little Nas X, and I don't like using Nas in his name. I know that's what he goes by, but for me, it's insultive to Nas, who is a real lyricist and
Such an OG.
hey, yes. Anyways, I'm not even gonna deny it.
Hey, if you ain't gonna demand the respect, then who is?
I'm gonna call him Little X. Okay, so
we all know who you're talking about now. Okay.
His song that came out, what's the name of it? Call Me by Your Name or something. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what the song's called.
The video, I was okay with. Like, I was like, I don't approve. I have faith and I believe in God and Satan, but I thought graphic wise, shit is crazy. But then he went on afterwards, did these started with the trolling. I can't do it. He tagged God and was like, I'm sorry, God. Came out with these pentagram and 666 Nike shoes that I really cannot go with. And so I decided, hey, I can't support you now. I can't because it goes against my faith. But I'm not going to hate on him. I think he has a right to do whatever the hell he wants, but I'm not there for it. The thing is, I was going to point out is a member of the group chat, Cece, Crustified Crook, had asked what ransom meant by a GIF he posted because R.A. Rugged Man had did the remix to Little X song. And Little X had said, this is so fucking hard. Ransom replied to that Little X comment and threw a GIF that suggested, fuck this shit. And I get why he's frustrated because with the industry, they're quick to put out and push all this crap. And I'm gonna call it crap because I don't like the song anyways, whatever it's about, it's not my cup of tea. But they won't stand behind people like Ransom, Crook, other lyrical artists, you know, it's all this crap, like the auto to like all the littles get pushed, Cardi B, shit like that. They're heavily promoting it, it's everywhere. But then you got an artist like Ransom or RJ Payne who's spitting their asses off, making great music and nothing. You get maybe one or two outlets that are gonna fucking talk about it. And you get people like me who will post it. Like, here's a song for you, bumping Ransom today. Have you checked this out today? Did you guys hear this song today? And it's frustrating, and I understand his frustration. I get it, because he's been at it for a long time, and he's fucking dope. He is fucking dope. And he's saying something in his music, and they rather push this crap. So thoughts on that?
I mean, it is frustrating. I think we have to, maybe accept that there isn't really a thing that is hip hop media that has integrity, that's about hip hop. It's all about clicks, it's about numbers and sensationalism, and anything that can cause a controversy, whether it's Cardi and Meg with their WAP stuff or Lil X with his shoes or anything that's big, it makes people curious. They watch it, it goes a bit viral. And that's what the media is going to go with because it gets them more clicks. And it gets them views.
I think there's a line in his song that said, I don't want to fuck the N-word guys that are in my level. I want to fuck the ones I envy. And I have made this comment about kids are confused nowadays as it is with all this shit floating around out there. And Morgan had mentioned, well, you can't teach gay. And I was like, no, but my thing is this, there's such a thing as peer pressure. There's such a thing as kids
You can't peer pressure people
but
into
wait,
being
no,
gay or not
let
gay.
me finish. There's such a thing as kids not understanding where they're going, what they're doing. It happens. I mean, it happens with gangs. You end up kicking it with gangs because you ain't got shit at home. You end up doing this and that because of whatever's going on in your home life. Then you got the media at that time in the 80s and 90s, the gang shit was really everywhere on the media because back then hip hop media was about Tupac, Biggie, Rakim, Scarface, all this shit. So they were really putting it out there. It was a lot of gang banging music out there in the media, and lo and behold, a lot of gang banging. There was gang banging before, but it really got big where kids were really, even kids in suburban areas were out here with the banging shit.
Yeah, but I don't think you can compare gangbanging to being gay.
Right. No,
I get what you're saying with religion wise. I mean, there's pressuring there, but not sexuality.
But then you got, like, after a while, then you had the shit with Birdman and Lil Wayne floating around where they're kissing. Then you got Diddy kissing Rick Ross. Then you got Diddy kissing someone else. Then you got all this other shit. And then lo and behold, more little artists started coming out wearing these little skirts with these little purses that they call man purses. More gay people started coming out of the closet. It's not bad. I don't have nothing against gay. I'm just saying, if the media is pushing all this shit, just like people said with WAP, that little girls shouldn't hear that because it could, influence them on that type of what type of behavior to be around. And I'm not saying it could teach them to be gay. I'm saying the whole thing about God and Satan and all that, there's consequences, I think, and repercussions if you decide to go that route. If you decide to follow him and wear his Satan pentagram, devil worshiping shoes and not think there's going to be consequences from it, I think that's bullshit. And I think the media's out here pushing all of that. And my concern is kids follow what's in, and the media is saying that's in.
Right, but as you're saying, kids, but that's on parents too.
Yeah,
I'll say it all the time. That's on parents at a certain age. Right. And I've said it before in post. If your child isn't old enough to understand something that you explain to them, they are not old enough to be on YouTube. They're not old enough to be on social media.
But here's the bottom line. A lot of parents don't watch their kids.
They don't, and that's on them. But that's not on the artist.
Right.
That's not
it's not on him, but I'm saying a lot, like, hell, I was 9 years old, 10 years old out here. My mom was doing whatever. Nobody, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I get you saying.
It's still like that nowadays. Pretend, parents could pretend and say, I don't let my kids watch that. Bullshit. Because when you're tired, your kids are over there on fucking YouTube watching whatever the fuck they want because you're too tired to fucking deal with it.
Right. No, I get that.
Hey, I know that.
I got kids. I know that.
Yeah. And there's kids aren't outside playing no more. What are they doing? They're on their fucking laptops or phones watching whatever they want.
So the media is going to push whatever's controversial. And gay rights and things are such a huge topic in politics and media. I mean, it's stupid for artists not to profit off of that.
Right.
So that's one thing. The religious part of it is a whole nother thing.
It even happened with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right. They
decided to say, well, not just Black Lives Matter, but Black gay lives matter, to separate. They did that.
Right, they do that.
So it's the media out here pushing that, right? When it's in fact all Black Lives Matter, whether it's gay or not.
It has levels still. So that book that Shauna recommended, that White Fragility book.
Yeah, I read it.
Part of that, what it talks in there is how I'll use like the women's movement. We have to get permission from men to get rights, right? So, but then like if you've got women, but then you've got Black women,
right,
who are even below that. So that's where that comes. So you have Black Lives Matter, but then you have this whole other group of people that are also still people of color, but they're on a lower tier. From not only are they Black, but now they're gay. So now it's like doubly bad. So I mean, I see where, you know, why that has a split like that.
Right.
But that's why.
It's not the fact that it has a split. It's the fact that the media is shoving that shit out there and making it seem like
the media is going to push whatever people are going to want to watch. I mean,
so
you think about it.
So
every time you turn on the news,
want to watch.
Right. Every time you turn on the news, it's violence and corruption and shootings and people dying. And that's just the news, which is why I don't watch the news. But
they watch or listen to whatever I have on. Like I'll put on cartoons for them, but if I'm jamming out to my music, they're hearing what I listen to. You know what I mean?
Right.
My grandson, little Johnny, he knows a lot of Crook songs. He's even knows a lot of Too Short songs. Right? Okay, so, but yeah, it is my job when they're around me to teach them, like, hey, you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't whatever. My point is this: there are a lot of impressionable kids out there that aren't getting any kind of discipline, who are out here, who aren't getting the supervision they should be getting, who are out here in the streets doing whatever the fuck they want.
Right. But you'll still get the argument that that's not our responsibility.
And it's not their responsibility.
It's not the media's either, but I know what you're getting at.
My point is this: I'm not going to support it.
Right, right.
That's my point. My other thing is, it happened when NWA came out with "Fuck the Police," and then Ice-T had came out with the song before that. They went to court trying to cancel them because they thought that was so fucking bad. How dare you say "fuck the police"? How dare you do this? How dare you? It's derogatory to kids. You're influencing kids to think cops are bad, when in reality they were just talking about what was going on in the hood, whether you're brown or Black, that's what was going on. So the same could be said with this gay movement too, and this satanic movement that they're all pushing, this overly sexualized movement that they're pushing with the WAP and the gay and this and that. Same could be said, but where I draw the line, because I don't care if you want to be gay, be gay. If you're experimenting. But when you go and do this whole satanic bullshit with it, that's where I draw the line, because let's not get it twisted. The media, there has been so many rumors of artists selling so-called soul, so many where you got to do this to get in. I mean, even Cat Williams talked about it, where he was trying to come up as a comedian. He got invited to a party, and in the party, there were guys kissing guys, people he did not know. And they tell you, if you come in, you have to, you cannot leave and say what's going on, this and that. Then after a while of him talking about it, all these things started happening where the cops started harassing him. He was getting arrested left and right for shit that he was saying he didn't even do. Some stuff he did, but a lot of stuff he didn't, and stuff where he's like, how are you guys even here? How do you know I'm here? And there was times where DMX even said, I had no drugs in the car. I got arrested. How the fuck did I just get arrested 10 minutes ago and the press is already in the courtroom to videotape what's going on with me? He even talked about it. So that's my point. Like, I can't support that satanic crap.
So I think there's a couple of different, I think, arguments here. So on one side, there's like, okay, we've all got our personal morality and our personal what we will support, what we will, and that's just for individuals to sort out. There's always a bigger question of morality in society, particularly through the arts. And we've seen it, you know, we mentioned NWA, we've seen it happen with so many different artists. Even before then, there's always been that question of censorship, what you can and can't say in music and art, you know, video games, movies, whatever. And that's sort of a separate question there about, you know, and that comes into parental responsibility and all that. I'm of the view that I'm against censorship of anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, just say what you want to say, you know, and society's going to have to deal with it.
Watch if you want to, don't if you don't want to.
Then I think where we started off is this question of the industry pushing it. I don't see it as the industry pushing a particular narrative and saying we want to push this or this or this. I think it's the industry basically just going, this is what's controversial, this is what's going to get us the views. When you talk about either album sales and money, you know, with streaming, or, you know, the media doing that, and it's the industry focusing on that because that's where they see their benefits, and that is what is having a negative and that's what's having a negative impact on you know, what we consider to be, you know, really dope hip hop artists and lyricists and stuff. So there's actually like 3 or 4 different arguments, and then they're all connected. But I just kind of wanted to break that up, and you know, there's different parts to it. It's not just all,
I mean,
you know,
I'm not saying I'm against him being gay, because to each their own. I'm against the whole satanic crap, and because of that, I can't. Even if it is, as Shauna says, trolling, he's doing it because people were at him, and now he's
just
doing
art
it to
too,
troll.
though.
But it's not art. See, for me, that's not
for
art.
You
got
it's
a pentagram.
But that's your personal morality that's coming into
you
that.
got a pentagram and the 666. That's, to me, that's satanic. And if you look up Satan worshiping, that is part of it. So you guys could say that's art, just like spirit cooking to me is not art. I don't think it's arty to create something to eat that looks like the human body, and you're cutting it and digesting it, but you're going to use blood and certain fluids of the human body to make it.
I had no idea
that's
that
not
existed.
art to me.
No.
I don't believe in that, and that is not art to me.
This is different. This is visual, for one. He wasn't actually cutting up or you know, summoning a demon.
Marina Makovich is the spirit cooker.
Oh, okay. I had no idea who that is.
But to me, that's not art. Say that's part of satanic worship.
But Maria, it's your deal breaker though.
Yeah,
it's like everybody. It's like everybody.
Mine.
Right. Exactly.
But I don't think industry's.
But that's what everybody's saying.
No.
Like where you get off on the spectrum of it not being art no more.
It's different than mine.
It's like other people.
For everyone.
Other people are just like, well, that doesn't bother me. I can see it in the artistic light, and it becomes a more narrow and more niche audience. But then again, not everything has to be for everybody.
Right, but when you go to Google, what are Satan worshiping, devil worshiping, Satan worshiping symbols? 666 and the pentagram is one of them.
Right.
So when you're sitting there,
but the same reason people can bring in God and religion into the other side.
I don't agree with that either. Like, I don't want to see someone make fucking shoes that say 777 and
not even making shoes, just bringing it into his art.
He made shoes.
Even rapping about it.
He made shoes with the pentagram.
Right. No, and I know that.
So for me,
I'm saying even without it.
It's not art to me. That's devil worshiping.
Which is fine, but I don't think the industry's pushing that. I think they're going off whatever people
I don't think they're not. I mean, Nike was very clear.
Yeah, but they don't not push anything. I mean, they
they just push it when it's out there. They're like, hey, but Nike,
this is getting a lot of views. That's pushing,
which is exactly what they're trying to do.
Nike made a statement saying we are not involved in his shoes.
Right. Well, because they have a business to protect.
He bought 666 pairs and made them.
I still find it funny.
I
find it funny.
That's my experience, because I've had experience with, I guess you could call it the spiritual realm. So is my daughter. Like it runs in our family, and I don't fuck with that.
That's all okay, and you know, we've all got our personal morality, but when it comes to talking about,
are you a believer in God, Morgan? Yeah, you have like big faith. You believe in God, and you believe in the devil. Or
I think
are you?
we sort of had this conversation. I can believe in God as a faith, as a higher faith, but not as an entity. So I don't believe that there is a Satan.
But God created, but there is
see,
a Satan.
See, that's the differences, and we can have that.
You can't have a good and then not a God, a bad.
It's not necessarily good.
God is good, in a sense.
That's what I'm getting at. The interpretations are differently, which is fine. So like, I
kind of feel like you believe in a higher power, not
I believe
God.
in faith. I believe in having faith.
Right.
That's it doesn't necessarily have to have a name for it. It's not necessarily an entity or like a person or a being. It's just faith.
When I was shot and I died twice, okay, what I saw, and I still to this day haven't heard that wicked laughter. To this day, I have not heard anything like it in scary movies or anything. It was just fucking outrageously scary. I saw all kinds of shit happening and the laughter kept getting closer and closer. When I came out of surgery, the chaplain came in, asked if he could pray for me. And I've had shit like this happen to me. It's why I say I really believe in the devil too, because you got to believe in it if you believe in God. So I was sitting there and I was reading the Bible, I had got saved. And my mom, see how these pictures are? Well, we had a wall that had a bunch of pictures on them, just a whole bunch of different sizes, just one whole wall of nothing but fucking pictures. And I'm reading and the pictures start bouncing off the wall. And I kid you not, this happened. So I got up and I remember them saying, when you first give your life to God, the enemy don't want you to do that. So he's going to put fear in you. Don't be scared. Just read your Bible, read the word louder. And I did. When I went to the kitchen to see better with a better light, because I was in the living room, I heard someone call my street name in the most wickedest voice ever. So I've had different experiences like this, and my daughter has had different experience. We have seen things, but I've also had good part where I've experienced good, godly shit when I was really deep in my faith. Like right now, I'm not deep in that. I'm not following it like I should or, used to, but I still have my faith and I still believe. And I do believe that there is a Satan out there, an enemy that is at work in the world. And I do believe that there are consequences for fucking with him, like he is with his shoes. But that's my faith.
Right. So let's bring it back around to that. So the whole point he is making is he's basically trying to piss people off.
Well, he pissed me off and he can fuck off.
He succeeded. And
that's it. He did. And I wasn't mad at the video. The video didn't bother me. The song didn't bother me. It wasn't until he did that bullshit on Twitter where he was mocking God and then with the shoes. That is what got me. That
he may have taken it too far. I didn't see all of that.
He did. And so I'm like, because at first I thought the video had dope graphics. I don't believe in it. The whole Eve thing and him being Eve, and then he breaks the devil's neck and takes the horns, and now he's the devil. I saw the video. I thought the graphics were insane. And I was okay with it until later when he did all that other shit. And then I was like, well, that's where I got to step off.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of pent up, frustration. Yeah. And
I think he's
finally put it out, and now he's trying to get his say out there, and he's done exactly what he wanted.
People are saying that it's because this was his coming out song. He came out already.
Yeah,
he already had came out.
I'm pretty sure he'd done that a few years ago. Right.
He came out already, so this was not that.
I think it was just a final straw.
I think this was just him trying to be a troll, and he got what he wanted. He wanted it out there. He wanted people discussing it, and they are.
I mean, and that's the whole point, is it not?
But I don't think he expected this much backlash, though.
He had to.
I think he probably did. I think he must have done.
It's
but not to where there's people that are going to draw the line and say, even artists are drawing the line. Joyner Lucas was like, how could you, bro? like Joyner Lucas drew his line. Apparently Ransom has, a lot of people in the industry have, and I don't think he was expecting that. I think he was expecting fans and certain people that aren't celebrities to have issues with it, but I don't think he was expecting the other part. Even I think even Crook was a little bit disgusted in it too.
I think they had to have. I mean, you can't tell me that his management company and stuff did not
I don't think his
foresee
management
anything.
I don't think his management really cares what happens as long as they're getting paid.
Well, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but I just think, look, first of all, I think even if there is backlash against him, then there's backlash against him. Artists have had it before. I don't think it's really going to make a huge difference.
like,
I think, hold on. I've got a couple of things to say. I think we kind of got, like, we've been talking about, again, it's that personal morality thing, but, you know, what we're trying to talk about is the industry. And I don't think, you know, whatever our personal morality is and wherever we draw the line on something isn't, you know, that's not what we're talking about, what the industry is pushing. There's no morals. They don't, it's not, you know, regardless of what any of us don't find acceptable, regardless of where we draw the line, the industry is just going to go, where can we make money? What can we push? And at the end of the day, that's what they're doing. All we can do is decide who we want to support and not support, push the stuff that we're interested in, and accept that, you know, this is how things have always been. What's happening now isn't really that different. It's, you know, the mediums might be different. The actual topic of it is different, but they've always tried to censor people. They've always complained about people. There are always artists who are pushing.
Well, it's always both sides. So you always got someone that's complaining, but on the backside, they're pushing at the same time, because that's what drives it is the controversy.
I'm just sick and tired of the industry, because they'll push all this crap, but they won't push like
so then
real
does it fall
shit
on the audience, because they're going to push whatever people are wanting to see.
But that's my thing with the kids. Here's the thing: if you turn on the radio, you're at work and they have a radio station on that plays this type of music, and that song is played 20 fucking times in an hour. Just saying, you're gonna know that song. You're gonna end up, you know, jamming to it. It's gonna resonate in your head. You're gonna know the lyrics. Pretty soon, you're liking it. That's the programming that the industry does. So a lot of kids do hear, we may not hear radio, but kids, there's radio at school. There's radio at stores being played. There's radio being played at other places that they go to.
Well, it's
these
TV
songs
shows and
are
movies,
constantly being played. So in a sense, is it really up to the audience? Because if it's being programmed, I mean, when I was younger, the radio was a real big thing then.
It plays a part though. It's the nature versus nurture. It's what you're exposed to, and then it's also kind of what you want to get into.
Right.
And just like how you got off of Nas X and how you got onto other artists, part of what makes lyricism a tough one to get onto is there's a bit more you have to kind of do to like jump onto artists. And we've had this talk before about new artists. There's so much music and good music coming out. I need to connect to the artist to even stick around long enough to like do most of his music.
Right.
And what makes the other ones easier is it's easier to sell that story in an instant, and it's harder to sell the story of a lyricist in a moment, in an instant, in a picture. Whereas, you know, controversy, these polarizing topics, when you see the picture or see the headline, instantly gives you an emotional reaction. In one way or another, you get invested because you hate the artist, or you like the artist, or you're just curious. It just draws you in such a quick way that
I think
that's where the industry pushing and the audience kind of gravitated to it. It's kind of the nature and the nurture part of it, where it's just like.
I think also, like, I don't know what the percentage is. It's probably a very high percentage of people who are casual music listeners.
Right.
Yes.
That's all they do. They don't really go into the effort of finding artists, of going through discographies and doing. They just listen to the radio. You know, they got Spotify. They might listen to the big playlists. That's how people are consuming music. That's
you
how.
Can't,
and
you can't break down lyricists with casual listening.
Exactly. It's always going to be a niche. It's always going to be a niche genre.
The Grammys,
subgenre.
They had that one just recently with the Royce, Freddie Gibbs, and all of them being nominated. What happened after that? Nothing. They're not mentioned no more in the media, even though they were being mentioned while the Grammys was going on before they came
That's a
out.
push for the Grammys.
Right. It's a new cycle.
Exactly. It was nothing to do with the artist. It was just to push the Grammys and
It
say,
always
hey.
is.
Yeah.
But that's what those award shows always do, to use that kind of stuff. What do you?
Right, but
hold on, what are you like
but
surprised
even
about?
now, if you go, they were talking about the other categories. They were talking about who won. They were pushing that music, but the hip hop, the lyrical ones, they weren't pushing that after the Grammys. But they pushed the other shit.
I mean,
WAP
they
was
never
being
do,
talked
do they?
about forever because WAP won. That song was being talked and discussed all over the place after the Grammys.
So WAP has a lot of pop qualities, is it not?
Interesting topic, though.
But what I'm saying is, before the Grammys aired, Royce, Freddie, and Jay, and all of them were being talked about heavily in all the media platforms. Cardi was also, so was Meg Thee Stallion.
Yes, because the Grammys is a big media vehicle.
Now they stopped on the Royce and Freddie and all of them, but they still continued on WAP and all the other bullshit.
Because it's still controversial. Because it's still a big
not just
topic.
that, but because look at what Royce and them talk about. They talk about woke shit. They don't want that. They don't want that in the industry.
We know that.
They don't want it. So I have to feel like the industry is like, well, we gave them that little bit. Let's just leave it there. Grammys nominated them. Fuck that. We don't want to discuss it because those lyrics are going to wake people up. The more they put out more woke shit, the further the media is going to run from them.
Well, right.
Because it's not shit that's controversy, as you guys are saying, sells. It's not shit that's dumb crap that kids could just listen to and, oh, my wet ass pussy, ha ha ha. But they don't want to talk about the woke shit that's being discussed in those songs because they don't want that in the industry. And that's where it's changed. Back in the day, 80s, early 90s, that was a big part of the industry, the woke shit.
I think that has to do with whatever political climate's going on too.
It is. It's always going to be cycles. Yeah, it's cycles in political climate, and you can if you probably trace the history of music, recording music against that, there's always going to be ups and downs with it depending on what the climate is. We might see a time again where that kind of music is what's being pushed. At the moment, that's not where it is.
No, we just got to count on.
It's annoying, but as I said, yeah.
Some of hip hop Twitter, because not all of hip hop Twitter is about hip hop.
No, but I mean? the people we engage with, the rap connoisseurs and all that, we just keep sharing the music and talking about it and showing the love, and maybe we get a couple other people to join in and start listening to it. But 90% of hip hop Twitter only really cares about the mainstream stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
They complain, oh my God, there's no good music coming out. It's like, actually, there's been a lot of good music. It's just not
mainstream.
There's a lot of great new artists, like Fresh said. I found a few of them the other day, and they're dope. Like good lyrical content. I'm going to post them in the server in the lyric.
Yeah. If you look and, you follow the right people and everyone's sharing new stuff every day, there's someone else who's saying, hey, check this out. You haven't heard it before.
Right.
But, at the moment, we're in that minority when it comes to music listeners. So we just gotta suck it up, I think, and keep going.
I was thinking with our platform, No Nonsense Hip Hop, I was thinking if we should start creating a playlist and have the people that watch submit but we want lyrical. And if you guys know any new lyrical artists, post it in the comments, and let's get a playlist going, and see what we can create. I was thinking also we could do it on Twitter too, under No Nonsense. We could start creating playlists.
I think it's a good idea, and it just, it's a place just for people to come together to share music, and we can all hear it.
But you'll find new artists that way.
Right. I'm really bad about finding new artists. I tend to get into like my little pocket and I get comfortable in there and I don't come out.
You've been in the RJ Payne pocket for a while. I mean, I have too. I've been stuck there for a while, but yeah, like especially when there's someone that you're fairly new to who has such a actually incredibly deep catalog of music, and you're like, wow, there's a hell of a lot here to go through. And
I like him. I love RJ.
I think he's great. I think he's fantastic.
I remember a friend of ours, mine's in freshman, Whoa. Remember his Mosey, his whole Mozzie thing? It's just all Mozzie every time. It's all he would talk about. Mozzie, Mozzie, Mozzie. That's what Morgan reminds me of with RJ Payne. He reminds me of Whoa. I miss Whoa. Shout out to Whoa. I miss you. Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Whoa a lot.
He's dope too. I like him.
But I think that's why we started this a lot, wasn't it? To grow the community, to bring people together who will have this similar taste and the similar want
and maybe not always similar. I mean, it's nice to bring in different experiences and different age groups and different, because when you find that on Twitter too, is that there's such a disparity between the hip hop heads, the old heads, and then the new listeners and some of them are trying to get into that, and you just need something to bridge it, to gap it.
Yeah.
I think people have me set as this old head hip hop, but you guys got to understand, I have a 24-year-old daughter. I have younger sons, and their music I listen to too. So I do like some of the newer stuff. A lot of it, actually, a lot of the vibey shit, just stuff that I can vibe to. My main thing though is lyrical hip hop, but I like all that other shit too. There's some jams that have auto-tune that I do like. I don't like Little Pump, shit like that, but there's some good artists out there. Yellow Paint is dope too. There's a few Flora, what's his name? Flora, is that? Floor, God, my daughter loves him.
I don't know.
He's pretty dope too. Yeah, I
listen to a lot of it because for me, lyricism is one of my favorite things about it, and that's what I love. But sometimes my brain is, I don't want to deal with that shit. I just want to relax and enjoy it.
Yeah, and if I'm in the car with my daughter, she kind of controls what we listen to, whether I want her to or not. So I'm listening to that crap. Yeah.
You should throw more elbows.
Right now, well, in my car, it's what I want. Once in a while, she's like, "Hey, Mom, can I put this on?" I'll let her. If I don't like it, I'm like, "Okay, after this song, we're changing it." But yeah, when I was with her car, it was always what she wanted.
I think the driver decides.
I think we should wrap it up though, because I do got to check up on her. I really hope they find these heartbeats. I hope everything's okay. I don't know.
I mean, talk about dropping some stuff in the pod.
Yeah. Well, personal stuff. Anyways,
well, we're all keeping our fingers crossed.
Thank you
for all that.
Anyway,
no, definitely keeping the thoughts in prayer. I mean,
sorry. Fresh. We will talk about this afterwards, you and I.
Is it very much so? Yes,
very much so. I just want to say I love you guys. I know I was a cranky bitch a little bit ago. I know it's hard.
It's okay.
It's hard
no,
to
not at all.
Me, but
not at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's bright and cheerful.
Yeah, just life, and it's not you guys. If I sit here and say shit like I'm so fucking frustrated today or blah blah blah, it's 99.9% of the time it has nothing to do with you guys. If I'm upset with something that has to do with, I'll say, I'm really frustrated right now, freshman. When you said that, it bothered me. I am like that, so you guys will definitely know.
I was going to say that other 0.1% is fresh.
Sometimes it's other people on Twitter that are just dumb. Like someone said, Little Dirk is greater than fucking I think it was Too Short, and I was just like,
I've just muted like so many accounts because I'm so sick of seeing the dumb comparisons constantly. Right. It's like
I've decided that Twitter's just a parody app anyway. Everything's a joke on there.
It's got, I mean, yeah, because there's no way that people could actually be thinking this.
No possible way.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Does somebody want to do the actual sign off?
Go for it, Fresh.
I don't know it. I just remember it's supposed to be the whatever's.
I thought
it was supposed to have the likes, share, whatever.
Yeah,
comment.
It's.
Go ahead, Ellie. Nail it so she can clip it on the back end.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Let us know what you think in the comments. Get involved, like, comment, subscribe. Hit us up on social media. If you've got any ideas for any topics you want us to cover, let us know. And until next time.